We are rocking a standing balance sequence today. It is not going to be very long and there are 2 elements to this. So we want to make sure that coming into this, we don't rush straight into the different balances and sequences. We want to kind of generate some heat from the inside out. So we're going to take a little bit of mobility and a little bit of core strength to seed us into that. But we're also going to challenge moving with balance and stillness within balance, because sometimes we have to find both when we're in a calm environment, and the other time we might have to find it when we're in a really busy environment. For me personally, I notice that my standing balances are affected the busier I am or the more stressed I am. So I'm less focused and less present and a little bit more wobbly with everything going on. Let's dive straight in. So we're just going to start just to draw the arms up. So fingertips towards the ceiling and just circle the arms down and around. So we're going to do this kind of 3 times, but as we do it, we're going to lift the heels. So soften the knees, inhale, reach. And as you exhale, lower down, lower the heels down. So this, remember, could also be a standing balance challenge for you. Notably, when it comes to control and release there, just draw the arms all the way up and then come into a bit of a forward fold. So knees as soft as you want or need them to be. Finding our way into this kind of spine lengthening element of the practice. So fingertips to shins or higher. Lift the belly, wave the spine long, and exhale, release. So our halfway lifts. We're going to do 3 of these in total. And then from here, bend the knees, coming up into a modified chair shape. So bent elbows, sit bones back, and then on the transition, we're going to come through into this flying halfway lift. So palms to the sky, length through the back of the legs, lift the belly, wave the spine long. So engagement to the max here, and lengthen and kind of stretch out there. So one more. Heel toe the feet out a little bit. I'm just going to take this into a traveling yoga squat. So just drawing the knee out. Maybe you lift an arm away. You might take the arm away behind you. And from here, you could just play with that balance with taking the hands away from the floor. So you're just kind of noticing where you're at as you come into this. I'm just going to do 3 kind of hip dips into that forward fold. So lift and release, kind of finding the foundation in the feet. Doesn't matter if your heels are lifted or you're coming down like I am here. And then this time come all the way down to seated. Cross the legs. Inhale, draw the chest forwards. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, hug into center. Round out the upper back and shoulders. And drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, hug and curl and around. Just one more of those. And from here, we're going to just draw back, cross those ankles to roll over onto the knees, or any way that you need to find yourself into this position here. I'm going to come into these camel waves, which are a really great way to warm up nice and quickly. I'm going to keep toes tucked. You're going to draw the arms away behind you. Again, palms to the sky. Inhale, kind of hinge forward at the hips, draw back so hips come almost to the heels. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, hug in and up, reach the arms up and take it back. And we do that kind of 2 or 3 times, using that kind of breath wave to keep those muscle groups closest to the spine activated and engaged. So we really start building that heat from the inside out. And then from here, you might adapt it a little bit. Again, you can continue that element of bring those twists into it. This can be a really nice thing to do. Come back round to center and then open it out to the other side. Or if you're feeling like you want to get more extension, you can draw one hand to the heel and then one arm up and over. Just do one more wherever you have decided to go. And then cross the ankles, come back over, lift into this modified boat shape. Now you don't have to come down a lot here, but as you inhale, you can draw out as low or as high as you like. Exhale, lift, plant the feet, draw forwards, back up into a mini halfway lift moment. Bend the knees, sit bones come back. Exhale into that modified chair. Fist to the hips to standing. So before we come into the standing balance sequence that I'm going to invite you to try today, we're going to find a little bit of movement through balance. So just plant the feet here, root into that left foot, and just draw the right knee up in front of you. You might do that a couple of times. You might not touch the leg. You might just lift and bring it down. You might lift, draw the knee towards you, and maybe you don't touch the mat with your foot, or maybe you just tap with your toes. I'm going to draw it up here, finding a little bit of a focus point now. This is where movement but maintaining balance comes in. So my focal point is you, and I'm just going to rotate that knee a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way, but then I'm going to allow myself to move a little bit and just have a wobble. See what happens when I do wobble and when we're thrown off balance. We can get to know how we might be thrown off balance, or what, in this particular instance, nuance of movement, I might balance a little bit more this way, or I might balance or wobble more when I come forwards, for example. So we can really get quite into the movement before we take a breath and the focus point and just draw up, and then with control lower the leg back down, have a little shake out, and then come over to the other side. Root through the right foot this time, or the opposite foot, and then draw the knee up in front of you. And again, just practice lifting, tapping that toe down, or maybe catching hold of the knee. Maybe you're not lowering it all the way down. As I mentioned earlier, there are times when I'm so maxed out and there's so much going on. You can start to do those knee circles now, a few times one way and then the other. As soon as I come into any kind of standing balance, notably Warrior 3 for me, I can tell. It's a really good kind of warning sign for me. It's like, okay, slow down, focus, catch your breath, decompress, and then take a breath, find the control, slowly lower back down. So balance with movement is really important. It's not just about holding something really, really still, but we will come into that when we finish, just to see what the difference is between the moving and the stillness. So it's like a little seed into that lovely tree shape. But before then, soften the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Find a little halfway lift of your choice. And release. Plant the hands. Step it back into a downward facing dog. Just remember to plug through into those fingertips. Send the hips back, lengthen through the spine. And then we're going to find some plank waves. So we actively want to keep maintaining that core engagement. So rhythm of movement with breath. Bend the knees on the inhale. As you exhale, lift the heels, hug into the belly. Rise up and over. And exhale, find your way back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, soften everything. Exhale, up and over. Release. And find a moment in between. Or you can keep it very fluid and flowing and make it like a continuous plank wave loop. Find your way back into the downward facing dog. Inhale, take the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, soften that standing leg, sweep the right knee in and around, lift and hug into center. Again, coming into active engagement and warmth, hopefully feeling a bit warmer, and lift. And you can do this with the back knee down if you're finding your way. Lift and step that front foot forwards. Now, to support your balance, come up onto active finger pads, soften that back knee, and lift the belly and wave the spine long. And as you exhale, hug in to find your way into your lunge. Create a little bit of rocking movement here. Okay, now if that feels like you're off balance and wobbly, you could step the back foot in, or you could step it out and just widen your gait. And we're going to just draw the arms up and lengthen out the legs. And exhale, release back into the lunge. So we're going to take a couple of movements here. So we're going to draw the arms out in front of you. Inhale, soften. And as you exhale, make fists with the hands. Draw that left knee through in and up, just like we were a minute ago when we were toe tapping. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, squeeze. So we get core engagement and balance at the same time. And now we're going to introduce movement and twisting into that. So relax the arms down. Again, just find your form. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, soften the front knee, lengthen out the back leg any amount, and open out to the right side, so the same side as the front leg. Inhale back through center. This time as you exhale, step it up. So with control, one more little element to add in here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, ooh, got the light. Open out to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, step it back into your lunge. So we're going to do that one more time before we move on to the opposite side. I like to do this normally kind of 3-5 times to really get into the rhythm of the movement. But this is just a little bit of a taster today. So inhale, draw up. Exhale, open the arms out. Inhale, reach, lengthen the back leg. Exhale, step and draw the left knee up. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, open out to the left side. Again, same side as the knee that is lifted at the front. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, step it back into the high lunge. Plant the palms down, step it back. Downward facing dog. Have a little kind of shake here. Take a breath. Blow it out, sigh it out before taking the left leg to the sky. Exhale, soften that back knee, sweep the knee in and around. Lift as high as you can as you draw the chest forwards to step that foot forwards. And you might just have a little moment there, rocking backwards and forwards. If you're overextended, step the back foot in, up onto active finger pads, soften the back knee, lift and lengthen. And then on the exhale, hug in. Remember, we've normally got one side that's a little bit more wobbly. So adjust as you need to. And then we're going to do that again. So arms forward, inhale, soften. Exhale, hug in and up. And you might do that one time, a couple of times, see how that feels. It can be quite empowering to use the core and the strength of your balance at the same time. Just release the arms down. So we're going to knit 2 rotations of that movement together with the twists and the balance. So inhale, reach. Exhale, open out to the side. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, squeeze, step it up. Activation. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, open out to the side. The most challenging bit of that balance is shifting your focus as you come into the twist. One more. And reach. Exhale, open out to the side. Back to center. Step it up. Last time. And take it out. You could keep your focus to the front if you're really struggling. Mine naturally wants to move, so I think that would make it worse for me. Come back down. From here, we're going to step the hands down, and we're just going to step up towards the top of the mat. Again, into this forward fold. Just relax the body for a moment. Inhale, bend through the knees. Exhale, just find your way into that modified chair. Take a breath. Fists towards the hips. Coming up into your mountain shape. Just take a breath and allow yourself just to settle. So just blow out all the breath. And then we're going to come into one final little moment with that first shape at the beginning, but with a little bit more stillness. So rooting into the left foot, coming into our tree shape. If you hadn't guessed it already, we're going to take that right foot, and we're going to plant it somewhere that works for us, whether the toes are touching on the side of the leg, or like me, you're a little bit higher. But I don't want to keep my hand on my hips here, just to start off with, so that I'm not pulling the hip off balance. We only want to open this knee out as far as it allows to keep the hips nice and central. Find your focus point. Again, mine is you. And then do something with your arms. So this is about stillness. So you might just open out in this traditional tree, or you might just draw the palms together, or if that's too much stillness for you right now, you could just practice drawing the arms up and circling them down to come out and through like this, and just kind of using that connection, pushing the foot into the leg into the foot, the breath, that activation as you hug in and up, feeling strong and rooted and firm. And then with control, inhale, lift, exhale, place it down. Doesn't mean it always works though. We might still sometimes have a wobble. We might have to step out of it and just compose ourselves again. That's the most important part of the practice, of course, is just not just walking away and saying that's not for me. So coming into the other side, rooting into that right side, and then placing the foot somewhere that is comfortable for you, just checking in on the alignment of the hips and your focus point, and doing something expressive for you. And maybe consider which one worked for you the best today, this kind of strong, rooted stillness, whatever's going on around you, or feeling rooted and in control when there's movement flowing. Lots of different aspects to balance. But I really, really invite you to consider these standing balance sequences when you've got that core engagement, when you're nice and warm, lift with control and place the foot down. Then you don't feel like you're kind of rushing into them or rushing out of them all the time. And we're just going to finish today standing in this mountain shape, maybe with 3 breaths here, breathing down into the belly, and then a long, slow release out. A standing balance on its own or in a sequence can inspire a bit of thought. Sometimes good, sometimes not. So just allow yourself to decompress, whether you wobbled, whether you just feel like you nailed it, or whatever it is. So that you can then come back into that space of balance and walk into whatever you're doing next. Thank you for joining me today. I will catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.